Hello students, in this video we will discuss about the important questions to be learned for second midterm examination, which is most probably day after tomorrow. So the important questions for unit 5, unit 9 and unit 13 are discussed in this video. First let us begin with unit 5 coordination chemistry. So here the first question is calculate the magnetic moment of a cobalt complex hexafluoridocobaltate 3 minus. So you have to calculate the magnetic moment. How to calculate the magnetic moment? It is based on VBT theory. The second question is classify the following compounds, following ligands based on the number of donor atoms. So this question has been asked several times in different question papers. It is asked in 2 marks as well as in 3 marks. So here ammonia, ethylene diamine, pyridine and oxalate. This four ligands are given and they are asking to classify the ligands. And this question is a book back question. Okay, third is what are hydrate isomers? Explain with an example. It is a 2 mark question. Then write postulates of Werner's theory with an example, 5 mark question. Important 5 mark. Repeatedly asked several times. There is no question paper without this question. Write down the main assumptions of valence bond theory. This is another 5 mark question which has been asked even in public examination. What is crystal field stabilization energy? A 2 mark question. So for crystal field stabilization energy, even we have to write the students are asked to write even the formula for crystal field stabilization energy. There are two differences. One is crystal field stabilization energy, another one is crystal field splitting energy. So both the questions are asked, both are book back questions. What are the limitations of VB theory is a 2 mark question. What is linkage isomerism? Given explain with an example. This is a 2 mark, or it can be asked in 3 mark. Then write the IUPAC of the following complexes. So I have not given any particular complex here because any complex can be given. Especially you have to make sure the students read all the names of the complexes given in your book inside, especially page number 140 and 141. There is evaluate yourself, and some 16 complexes have been named, and some more complexes inside too, they have been given the names. And in book back too, we can find some questions where the complex name has been asked. So any complex from the book, not from outside, from the book will be asked. It is an important favorite question of all the question paper setters. 10th question, based on VB theory, explain why this chromium complex is paramagnetic while that of nickel complex is diamagnetic. It is a 5 mark question asked some thrice or 5 times in public exam too, and it is a 5 mark and it is a book back question. How double salts are different from coordination compounds? It can be asked in 2 mark as well as 3 mark. If it is asked in 2 marks, write 2 points, and if they ask in 3 marks, write 3 points. For the complex, this ion complex, we have to identify the oxidation number, hybridization, shape, magnetic behavior, and IUPAC name. So each of this question carries 1 mark, so it will be asked in 5 mark. In an octahedral field, draw the figure to show splitting of d orbitals. This is a 3 mark question. Just the figure and explanation, clear explanation has to be written along with the diagram. Then 14th question, for the complex ion of this cobalt complex, again same like 12th question, they have asked this. State the hybridization, magnetic nature of the complex, oxidation number of cobalt, and give the IUPAC name of the complex. 15th question. So 14th and 12th are 5 mark questions. Then 15th one, a solution of nickel complex is green, whereas a solution of another nickel complex is colorless. It's a book back question asked in 2 marks. Then on the basis of crystal field theory, write the electronic configuration of D2 ion of where delta naught is greater than P. So this is another inside book inside question. So it can be asked in 2 marks. Then 17th question, write the hybridization and shape of this cobalt complex. Define coordination number, 2 mark question. Explain ionization isomerism with an example, 2 marks or 3 marks. Using VBT, explain the geometry and magnetic nature of this complex and this complex. So this can be asked in both 3 marks as well as 5 marks. What is crystal field splitting field energy? This is 2 marks. Then identify the ligand, coordination number, and central metal ion in the coordination complex. So any complex can be given, and they will ask to identify the ligand, write the oxidation coordination number, and central metal ion. So this can be asked in 3 marks. For the complex ion, the mean pairing energy is found to be 21,000 per centimeter. The magnitude of delta naught is 13,000 centimeter. That is delta O, octahedral field. Calculate the crystal field stabilization energy for the complex ion corresponding to low spin and high spin states. So this is something which is from the book side. So in crystal field CFT theory, there is an illustration showing the how to calculate the crystal field stabilization energy for this complex. So from there, this question has been made up and it has been asked. So it is not a book back question, actually it has been asked. Why tetrahedral complexes do not exhibit geometrical complexes is a book back question asked in 2 marks. Given test to differentiate both these complexes. So this is asked several times and it is a 2-mark question. Then let us move on to, so these are the important 25 questions from unit 5 coordination chemistry. So before moving on to the next unit, make sure that at least these 25 questions you have thoroughly revised. Then unit 9 electrochemistry, define resistivity, define conductivity or specific conductance, that is kappa, define resistivity is rho, define molar conductance lambda m, define equivalent conductance lambda, write down the factors affecting electrolytic conductance is a 5-mark, important 5-mark. Why AC current is used to measure the specific resistance instead of DC, it is a book back question, 2-mark. How will you measure the specific conductivity of electrolytic solutions, book inside, where we use the Wheatstone bridge. State Kohlrausch law and write down the applications of it, 5 marks. Separately state Kohlrausch law can be asked in 2 marks. How is molar conductivity of a weak electrolyte is calculated using Kohlrausch law is a 3-mark question. Give the differences between electrolytic cell and electrochemical cell, it can be asked in 2 marks as well as in 3 marks. Write down the construction of Daniel cell is an important question once asked in public examination, it is a 5-mark question. Write down the cell notation of Daniel cell, it is a 2-mark. Why anode is negative and cathode is positive in galvanic cell, it is a 2-mark, or it can be asked in 3-mark. Explain the function of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, 5 marks. Derive Nernst equation, very very important question. So it is like a favorite question. So it will be asked, definitely it will be there in the 5-mark. Give an example of primary battery and secondary battery is a 2-mark. Why does conductivity of solution decreases on dilution of the solution, 2 marks. State Faraday's law of electrolysis, 3 marks. 2 laws you have to write. Calculate the standard EMF of the cell. The standard reduction potentials are given respectively. So this is a problem. So based on the problem, it can be asked in 2 marks as well as in 3 marks. Write a note on sacrificial protection. Define anode and cathode. These 2 questions are book back and it can be asked in 3 marks as well as 2 marks. What is the role of salt bridge in Daniel cell, 2 marks. The EMF of the cell is given and calculate the pH of the solution. So it is actually to both the lessons combination. This question has both electrochemistry as well as ionic equilibrium culminated. So at times they can ask questions like this too. Then 24th question, mention the anode, cathode, electrolyte and uses of mercury button cell. So most of the time button cells, this mercury button cell, Lecland cell, lead storage battery and lithium ion battery, they have not asked so far. So maybe now they can ask questions. So one such question is, so for mercury button cell, they are asking what is the anode, cathode, electrolyte and uses. So uses of all the cells, it would be easier if you read and keep the uses of all the cells. Describe the electrolysis of molten sodium chloride using inert electrodes is a 5-mark question. It has been asked in some revision question papers. Explain lithium ion battery. So this has been asked in one of the papers, rarely. So rarely they ask. So if they ask like that, then we have to make sure that at least we write what is anode, what is cathode, what is electrolyte, what are the uses of lithium ion battery and what is the overall reaction and what is the voltage produced. What is intercalation? So this question is there in lithium ion battery. So this is a book inside question, what is intercalation? Then 28th question, is it possible to store copper sulfate solution in an iron vessel for a long time? Book back question. A current strength was passed through a molten calcium oxide for 41 minutes and 40 seconds. So this question can be asked as a problem in even in compulsory question, like a compulsory question in 3 marks. A copper electrode dipped in 0.1 m copper sulfate solution at 25 degrees Celsius. Calculate the electrode potential of copper. So this is a book back question. So this can be asked in 2 marks. Then there is one 3-mark question. 27th question is a problem where ionic conductivities and molar conductivities are asked to be calculated. So that 27th question of book back is an important question. So make sure that at least that problem you cover before you complete and go to the next chapter, next unit. So these are some of the 31 questions. I have included both book inside and book back questions. Then let us move on to unit 13, that is organic nitrogen compounds. The first very important question here is, how will you distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary amines? It is an important 5-mark. Reaction between nitrous acid and primary amines. Reaction between nitrous acid and secondary amines. So this type of questions also are asked in some question papers. Then write the mustard oil reaction. All the naming reactions of organic nitrogen compound lesson is very, very important. Mustard oil reaction. Then why pKb of aniline is more than ethylamine. Write electrolytic, this is a book back question. Write electrolytic reduction of nitrobenzene. So how nitrobenzene undergoes reduction in the presence of electricity, that is a different question. So that type of questions are also asked in this chapter. Write short notes on Gabriel thalamide synthesis. How is chloropicrin prepared is an important 2-mark question, asked several times. Then write about carbalamine reaction. This is a naming reaction, so definitely it will be there in the paper. Explain coupling reaction with an example. So coupling reactions, you can see many things are given, but at least one example we have to know. Then how will you prepare the following compounds from benzene diazonium chloride, fluorobenzene, benzoic acid and phenol. So it is a type of book back question. Then explain Lieberman's nitroso test. So this question has been asked in one question paper. So naming reactions. So as I said, that naming reactions are very important in organic chemistry. Account for ethylamine is soluble in water, whereas aniline is not. So these type of reasoning questions are asked at the book back. I think it is question number 8. So 8th question number and 9th question number, arranging the order of the elements according to some category, some criteria. That questions are very important. Write short notes on diazotization. Why aniline does not undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction has been asked several times in several question papers. Write short notes on Hoffman-bromamide reaction. This is an amine reaction. Write any two electrophilic substitution reactions of nitrobenzene. Explains Cotton-Bowman reaction. Write short notes on trope nitrile condensation reaction. How will you convert nitrobenzene into 1,3,5-trinitrobenzene and orthopara-nitrophenol? This is a book back question. Then explain Sand-Meyer reaction and Gattermann reaction. Sand-Meyer reaction and reaction, we have to be thorough because they ask in the form of A reacts with B to give C. What is A and B and C? So based on Sand-Meyer reaction, so many questions are possible. Then write short notes on ammonolysis. Write about Gomberg reaction. Write on the possible. This is the first question in the book back. Then there are two isomers with the formula. This is the second question in book back. So questions given in the book back are also important in organic nitrogen compounds. Most of the questions are covered in the book back itself, and few questions from deep inside they ask. So these are the important 25 questions in unit 13. So hope this video is useful for all those who are preparing for second midterm test. Thank you, students.